What's going on, BLV NHLers? It's me, Fitty Trent, and I'm here to give you my recap for the game between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Now, honestly, the Tampa Bay Lightning, they came into this game after having a bit of a bye week. They had to have a week off, just before the All-Star game. So they got to have a nice little rest. So you expected them to come into this game and do something very, very well. And not just, after a good rest. I mean, they had an opening ceremony for the puck drop tonight. They had some great, great old Tampa Bay Lightning players like Pavel Kubina, Frederick Modin, Dino Ciccarelli, and Brian Bradley coming in to drop that ceremonious puck drop, just before the game. So you expected that Tampa Bay, they'd want to win this game. They'd really be coming out strong to win this game because, Vegas, they're creeping up on the standings, creeping up on those Tampa Bay Lightning. So they would want to extend that gap. And I know Austin, he was actually there at that game, our good friend Austin. And I know he wanted to see a big, big win. So the puck drops on this game. I'm getting comfortable in my chair. Next thing you know, James, the real deal Neal, that's right, comes in and scores his 19th goal of the season, 56 seconds into this game, assisted by Derek Englund and David Perron. And I was like, what happened? Like, I literally was just sitting down, just looking on the game, and next thing you know, the goal goes in, and I could not believe it. It was already 1-0 for the Vegas Golden Knights. And then next thing you know, the period, honestly, is kind of going back and forth. Both teams, they're having a few little, chances. Marc-Andre Fleury ends up getting shaken up very early in this game as well. But luckily, he was able to stay in the game. Honestly, I don't think Vegas wants to see him go down with a concussion once again. I know that you guys have Malcolm Subban, who's a good enough backup because he's like 11-2 this entire season. But it's the kind of thing where I'm sure you guys don't want to see him go down with another concussion. So luckily he was shaken up, but he bounced back. He was able to compose himself and come back into this game. Didn't miss any time. And, honestly, Tampa Bay, they looked like they had some chances. Vegas looked like they had some chances. And then Nate Schmidt, that's right, the defenseman that they picked up from the Washington Capitals, scores for the Las Vegas Golden Knights with his third goal of the season, assisted from McNabb, his 7th assist, and, of course, Eric Howell with his 14th assist. And then Tampa Bay, honestly, they actually started picking it up at the end of the period, and I thought this was going to be very good. They were going to come in with this momentum, and it was going to be the kind of thing where they were looking very, very smart. Second period starts, things are starting to get even more and more physical. You can see some hits. You can see some players starting to throw around each other at the end of the whistles. So honestly, things were starting to build up. And then Tampa Bay gets the chance on the power play because William Karlsson went to the box for tripping. And next thing you know, they capitalize on a beautiful passing play, tic-tac-toe to Andre Palat. He gets his 8th goal of the season, assisted by Steven Stamkos, his 36th assist, and Nikita Kucherov with his 34th assist. Honestly, those guys had been lighting it up. So it's the kind of thing where, honestly, at that time, I was getting really excited for the Tampa Bay Lightning fan. Would they be able to come back with this rally? They're looking good. They're looking smart. They're pouring more and more of the pressure on. But just before the period ends, with like 2 minutes left, David Perron comes in, scores his 10th goal of the season, assisted by Derek Englund. Of course, the Las Vegas native gets his 2nd assist of the night. And Shea Theodore, arguably one of the best defensemen on the Golden Knights, I would argue. And then the third period starts. And when the third period started, I thought, okay, this has kind of been a little bit unlucky for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Maybe they'll be able to come back and do something early. Nope, that's not the case. William Karlsson comes in, scores his 24th goal of the season, and assisted by Jonathan Marchessault with his 26th assist, only 18 seconds into the period. And at that point, I mean, Tampa Bay, they were just looking very, very defeated. They weren't able to get very many great chances on Marc-Andre Fleury after that. They took a penalty. Jake Dotson takes a slashing call. But then right after that, Vegas takes a penalty with Pierre-Edouard Bellemare with interference. Then next thing you know, they have a chance at 5-on-3 with William Karlsson for tripping. And that's when it's like, okay, Tampa Bay, it's now or never. You have to be able to do it now. But what happens? Tampa Bay wins the faceoff. Mikhail Sergachev makes a kind of a silly pass, gets intercepted. It's a 2-on-1 going the other way. Next thing you know, Vegas has an empty net. They shoot. It goes off the post, off Vasilevsky's leg, and just rolls out of the crease. I could not believe it. It was so close to being a 5-1 game. And at that point, I mean, they just started giving away the puck. They weren't able to really come back and get any more momentum during that game. So, Vegas ended up winning this game 4-1. Things got a little bit physical near the end. Jake Dotchin and I think it was Lindbergh ended up, dropping the gloves with 30 seconds left in the entire game. It was more of a wrestling match than really a fight. But nevertheless, the game ended 4-1 victory for the Las Vegas Golden Knights. And the Golden Knights are now 2 points away from meeting the Tampa Bay Lightning, being tied with them for the top spot in the NHL. Believe it or not, I cannot believe that it's already like that because honestly, Las Vegas Golden Knights, I don't think any of us assumed that they were going to be doing this good this early on their first ever year. But honestly, believe it, the Las Vegas Golden Knights, they're here. They're not slowing down. It's an absolutely incredible thing. And I think the biggest reason why that they've been doing so well is because of their defensive core. I know a lot of people were looking at their defensive core, especially tonight, and saying how underrated that their defensive core is. I mean, you look at Braden McNabb. He was a very physical guy out there with 3 big hits, 3 blocks. He was there very much on the body side of the puck. Derek Englund, a guy that we usually never get to see putting up very many points. He's been on fire tonight. I mean, he put up 2 points tonight. Already has 12 assists on the entire season. I think he's over his, career high. I could be wrong about that, but I think he's over his career high. Shea Theodore, in my opinion, definitely the best defenseman for the Las Vegas Golden Knights, not just in this game, but just in general. He's such an underrated defenseman, and all that they had to do to pick him up was just to confirm that they would get Clayton Stoner. That's the only thing that they had to do, and oh my goodness, I mean, Anaheim, you've lost such a quality defenseman here with Shea Theodore. I think he's going to be a great top 4 defenseman down the line. Nate Schmidt, I mean, I think he was arguably the best defenseman for the Washington Capitals last year, especially during the playoffs. He had a goal tonight, looked absolutely outstanding. I already gave my accolades to Malcolm Subban, 11-2 as a backup goaltender when Marc-Andre Fleury was injured. And you look at Marc-Andre Fleury tonight, and honestly, the goal that he let in, honestly, no goaltender was going to be able to stop that. Even Carey Price, even any goaltender in history, Marty Brodeur, Patrick Waugh, no goaltender was going to be able to stop that. It was just a perfect tic-tac-toe play by the Tampa Bay Lightning, and they were able to capitalize and do absolutely amazing with that goal. And then you look at the forwards, and James the Real Deal Neal is truly leading that team on the forward core. I mean, he led the team tonight with 5 shots, but he's just been looking so good on that top line. Definitely deserving that assistant captaincy, 100%. You look at William Karlsson, who was playing wing with the Columbus Blue Jackets for the past 2 years and had no better season than scoring 6 goals. You look at him on the Vegas Golden Knights, he's been moved to center, playing on, I think, the second line center, and it's the kind of thing where he has 23 goals already in the NHL just for this year right now. Basically, Columbus begged for them to give him, take William Karlsson off their hands, and he's been playing so well. Yes, he's been taking a few penalties, but it's the kind of thing where if you look past that, he's been playing very well. Meanwhile, looking at the opposite side of the spectrum with the Tampa Bay Lightning, honestly, the best thing that I can say about them was that they were the best team on the face-off dot. They had the most blocks and they had the most hits, but besides that, honestly, you can really see that they've been missing Victor Hedman 100%. You look at players like Dan Girardi, and I know that Dan Girardi, he had a very scary moment in that game against Detroit when he took that Martin Frk shot right off the neck. It was the kind of thing where he could have been much more injured, but it was the kind of thing where he was able to get up on his own and leave on his own accord. But it's the kind of thing where he's a very slow defenseman. That's why, the New York Rangers have been doing so poorly back when they had Dan Girardi the past few years. He has just slowed down so tremendously. Braden Colburn, I think, is a very much the kind of same thing as Dan Girardi, just a little bit more quick. Tonight he did not have an absolutely outstanding game. Mikhail Sergachev, I like him a lot. I think he's been very good with the Tampa Bay Lightning overall. Tonight, though, he played very poorly, was on -2, gave away the puck a lot, leading the entire team with 3 giveaways. Anton Stroman, honestly, I want to see Anton Stroman go back like a couple years ago, back when he played with the Tampa Bay Lightning, when he was like looking to be that top 2 defenseman, maybe even becoming a solid top 4 defenseman at the very least. Now it's the kind of thing where he's he's more of a two-way guy, kind of turning into a bottom six as they're getting their young guys like Cuckoo and Dotchin, and a little bit more ice time, which isn't a bad thing because Dotchin, he's a very good physical defenseman with 5 big hits tonight, but he needs to be a little bit more, disciplined as he took 4 minutes, but 2 very stupid penalties tonight. You look at their forward core, and it's the kind of thing where, yes, Kucherov and Stamkos, they're still doing their thing. Braden Point, he's still there every once in a while, but the rest of them, honestly, I don't think that they played a very bad game. It's just none of them were standing out to be absolutely outstanding. I know that Yanni Gourde was very physical tonight with 5 fake hits. Besides that, I think he was very invisible throughout the entire game. Chris Kunitz, I thought, actually had the best game out of all their forwards. He was very offensively bound. He was shooting the puck a lot. He led their entire team with 5 shots. Cedric Paquette, it was the kind of thing where I get that he's basically being like their 4th-line center, but he did not have an amazing game tonight. Corey Conacher trying to fill in that JT Brown spot, since JT Brown has been picked up by the Anaheim Ducks. I can see that he's trying, but it's the kind of thing where I don't know if he'll be able to fully become that next physical guy because Corey Conacher, he's quite small in stature. He's always been more offensively minded, so I don't know if he's that perfect fit for that 4th line. Ryan Callahan, to me, was invisible tonight, honestly. I mean, I know to some people Ryan Callahan is more of a curse for the Tampa Bay Lightning than a help, but it's the kind of thing where, especially tonight, I mean, he was an absolute invisibility, player out there. So if the Tampa Bay Lightning want to be able to continue on their winning ways, honestly, for me, their biggest thing is they need to get more bodies in front of the net. That's a big thing that happened tonight with the Vegas Golden Knights. It seemed like every single time that they had an offensive opportunity, you had at least one guy throwing the puck in the net, another guy screening Vasilevsky, and another guy, in the vicinity of the crease to pick up the rebound. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay was taking more shots just to kind of get the puck towards the net, trying to force a rebound. And Marc-Andre Fleury, he really wasn't having it. And if he did let up a rebound, his defense was there to bail him out. So it's the kind of thing where, Tampa Bay, you need to take a page out of the Vegas Golden Knights book, get more bodies towards the net, because when you get more bodies towards the net, it's the kind of thing where you will be able to get more shots and get more goals, hopefully. So honestly, overall, it was a pretty fun game to watch. I mean, for the Tampa Bay Lightning, those were my thoughts about what they need to improve. For the Las Vegas Golden Knights, keep on riding this as long as you can, because honestly, I honestly thought that you guys were going to be the worst team in the NHL this entire year, and you have shocked me above all beliefs. So congratulations to you. Keep up what you're doing. Looking at the chat right now, we got KS Codes saying hi. What's going on, KS Codes? Von Hook's in the chat saying hi, Fitty Trent. What's going on, Von Hook? Corey Crawford is done for the season. Yep, that is indeed some news. Corey Crawford might be done for the season. They're thinking that his injury might be taking him over and above what it was. So it's the kind of thing where, it looks like Jeff Glass might become their new starting goaltender for the rest of the season. If that's the case, I don't think Chicago will be able to do very well. I don't think that they'll be able to make the playoffs with just Jeff Glass alone. So who knows? They might be looking for a goaltender this year. Maybe they'll pick up like a Peter Mrazek from the Detroit Red Wings or something like that. So look on for a trade like that coming on. Random Orange says, Von Hook, anyone? How's it going there, Random Orange? Vanilla Billy says, all you say is back and forth and chances. Tell us how the goals and chances happen. Like, sucks as Vanilla Billy. Good to see you back there, Vanilla Billy. I hope that you are enjoying the channel. I hope that you stick around a lot longer. Von Hook says that the Coyotes suck. Well, I thought that they would make the second round of the entire Pacific Division this entire year. So, honestly, I suck for, thinking that. Garrett Fliebers says that I'm watching the Flyers right now. I agree you should be giving us more of a detailed play of what happened. Good point, Vanilli. I'm sorry. I'll try to do my best. I hope I gave you a little bit more than what you thought of just originally. My Sharks are down 0-4, says Von Hook. Percentage chance that the NHL will go to the Olympics in 2020, says Von Hook. Or 2022, I should say. I think that'll be about a 50-50 chance. I mean, honestly, I get why they don't want to have those players come into the Olympics, however, and it's the kind of thing where I could see that they will continue on this path of maybe not having the players in the Olympics just so that you don't get those injuries and you don't get that threat of being injured. But I think more players like Ovechkin and Malkin and things like that will kind of force the hand of the NHL, and probably will get to see more NHL players go into the Olympics, whether it be the next time or maybe a year after that. Dahlin is playing for Sweden at the Olympics, says Von Huck. Absolutely. I think that's a great move. I mean, he is going to be that number one player. He's going to be that number one defenseman. So it's the kind of thing where, I'd love to see him. Whoever gets him, you're honestly going to get a number one guy right off the bat, a top two defenseman for sure. So honestly, I can see why they picked up Dahlin. Whereas John, I like him. I was hoping that he was going to be on the live reaction of this game to battle. I think John is currently watching the Toronto Maple Leafs game, which is what Von Huck said. Currently, the Toronto Maple Leafs are tied up 2-2 against the Philadelphia Flyers. So who knows? I don't know if John will be doing a recap of that game or not. Stay tuned if he does do a recap for that game. But overall, tonight, as I said, the Las Vegas Golden Knights, they put up a great showing up against the Tampa Bay Lightning. They got majority of the shooting chances. They were all in the face of Vasilevsky, and they were much better on the defensive side and the goaltending side. And Tampa Bay, they need to keep up playing their game. They need to get more bodies towards the net. And honestly, the sooner they get Victor Hedman back, the better. Do you need to pick up another defenseman? I don't think that you need to. Maybe for just like a seventh defenseman. Depth is not always a bad thing if you can get it for the cheap. But overall, Tampa Bay, I would not be worried. Austin, if you're watching this, I would not be worried for you if you're a Tampa Bay Lightning fan, because I still think that you guys have a great chance of winning that Stanley Cup this year. So be sure to subscribe here to the BLV NHL for more NHL and just more hockey in general, because we are a continuing on channel. We will be doing a lot more coverage as we get closer to the Olympics, as we get closer to the trade deadline, and we'll be doing more and more of these live game recaps for you every single day. So subscribe here to the BLV NHL if you did enjoy. Give us a like if you did enjoy the video as well, and comment down below what you want to see, because what you want to see is what the kind of videos that we like to make. We are a video, channel for fans because we are fans. So for Fitty, Trent, John, Kevin, Austin here on the BLV NHL, peace out and have a great night.